After having a hard week, there's nothing quite like going on Porsche.com and designing your dream Porsche. So today we're gonna jump in by designing my dream 911. And I will say it's not gonna be my total dream 911 because my dream 911 wouldn't be a 2026. It'd probably be something more in the 1990s era, like a 964. We're gonna go in and just see what we can create. I'm gonna be building something out that's a little bit more of like a daily driver and maybe not so aggressive. I really love the GT3. I have driven one before and I don't know if I would want it to be a daily driver. I think the wing is really cool. I think the shape looks really cool, but it is a little bit aggressive for my taste. And now this 911 GT3 RS, this new one, I think everyone in the world can agree it's an unbelievably cool car. Like, it's so cool. The wing is a little intense, but I mean, you just can't help but to absolutely fall in love with one when you see one. So really cool. Would love to design one, would love to have one. But in reality, I think I would be a little bit more connected with and would definitely drive more of a classic 911. So we're gonna build something out like that today. 911 GT3 with touring package. This is where I wanna be. It costs exactly as much as the 911 GT3 with the wing, not as much as the GT3 RS with the more aggressive wing, obviously. And for some reason, even though it's the same horsepower, same price, the 0 to 60 is 0.5 seconds slower, which is pretty significant. If I was gonna build a daily driver, it would be this 911 GT3 with touring. It looks humble, looks chill, but it's got the GT3 engine, chassis, suspension, the whole nine. So it would be a perfect daily driver. And they have a manual option, which would be really cool. I think a really, really cool color, I don't know if you guys have seen the British Racing Green. We have some cool colors here in the Dreams and Shades, and even like this Legends section with the Slate Gray Neo. This is a really, really cool color. And I think it's really timeless. I think it could last for a long time and you'd be really happy with it. But I think something about the 911 silhouette just screams timeless, or I should say whispers, because it's just so elegant and just sophistication. And I think there's nothing quite as sophisticated as a British Racing Green. So I'm gonna see if they have a British Racing Green around here in the paint to sample. I will say this is almost a $17,000, oh, there it is. This is a $17,000 option. So just to throw this paint on it is gonna cost another $17,000. But right here we have the British Racing Green. It's dark, it's tasteful. It's not really something that you're gonna like appreciate at first hand, but I think when you do a double take, when you wanna look at it again, when you spend more time around it, it's one of those colors that you grow to love more. And I think that's exactly what I want in any car. I don't want the first look to be the best look. I want to fall in love with it the more that I have it. So I will say this new 2026 body style for the 911 is beautiful. I love it in so many ways, especially like down here. I just love how they've kind of opened up some space for the aero, and I don't know, just the way that they kind of worked out the rear diffuser. It's just really pretty. I really love it. My one complaint, I don't really love the headlights on this one. I definitely liked just the 4 headlights, the 4 dots, more than kind of this parentheses look. But I do like this front a little bit more than the previous models. I like, you know, the little arrow over here and just the way that they designed it. I mean, like I said, I'm designing the 2026, so that's what I have to work with. And at the end of the day, you're getting a really cool car. So we're gonna go with that. We're already at 250K. So for a daily driver, it's not the cheapest car on the block. Let's check out these wheels. Sometimes it's fun to just test things out, see what you like, see how it feels. Oh, see, I was not planning. That's the thing. That right there is the thing about customizing something like this online, is you get to feel it in a way that you haven't before. Like, I honestly wouldn't have chosen to put British Racing Green with these high gloss California gold wheels, but I'm honestly obsessed with that. That looks unbelievable. Like, that's so beautiful. So I'm gonna go forward with that. I could see how the gold might be a little bit more intense, you know, a little bit more asking for attention, but I think it looks beautiful. And at the end of the day, like, if this is my daily driver, I want to freaking love this thing. I will say you probably wouldn't get as tired of the silver, but I don't know. I'm going with the gold. That looks so beautiful. Guess we got to try it in black just to get a feel. Nah, not even close. Like, dude, the gold is just the way. That's so pretty. Yeah, I love that. You can add on some winter wheels for 10 grand. Sure thing, man. Why not? So I do really like this interior. It is cool. I would say it's overly aggressive for me. Like, I think you would enjoy it, but at the same time, I don't know if you guys have seen the 911 Classic, the tribute to the previous 911 Classic, but it has just, you know, it's got the 10, it's got the patterned seats. Something about it's just so much more timeless and elegant. This is a lot more sporty. There's just carbon everywhere. You do get, you know, the leather, you do get some different material choices, which is really, really cool. It looks nice. I can already see it's a pre-installed option to have the Porsche crest built into the seats. And I think that's like a $16,000 upgrade on the model that's not the GT3 if you're just coming from like a classic 911 and you want that option. So it's really cool, but I will say, like, seeing all this carbon in here, I do hope that they have a different package, because I don't want all that carbon. Like, I don't know, this is supposed to be, you know, like a touring model of the GT3. If I wanted all that carbon, I would get the GT3 RS if I wanted something that aggressive. So yeah, it looks really, really good, but I'm gonna see if we can do something about all that carbon there. I do wanna see these lightweight bucket seats just to see what's going on. Oh my gosh, those look so crazy. I will say, if I was going to go with the carbon, I would probably consider these. Like, that's way, way, way too aggressive for this car. Like, I mean, it is a GT3, so I don't know if I want to say it's too aggressive, but of course, if you're going to go to this extent, you might as well get the GT3 RS in my opinion. But I mean, this looks just crazy. Like, that looks so cool. And if I had to keep the carbon option, the backs, that full carbon on the back to complement all the carbon in the rest of the cabin just looks unbelievable. I mean, those are some of the coolest seats I've ever seen. I'm sure they're not comfortable at all, but that is just really, really, really cool. But I will say, like, if I was to do that full carbon on the inside, it doesn't really match the green and gold on the outside. I just feel like the outside's too sophisticated, too elegant, too tasteful to match what's going on the inside here. So we're just gonna go back to the adaptive sport seats. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is exactly what we were looking for. So you can do this exclusive manufacturer leather interior, and with that, it looks like you can make it 10. So let's see. So I guess that option that I chose earlier that had like that $40,000, $45,000 upgrade, that is what put like all the carbon in there. Cognac is where we want to be. And maybe this Cohiba brown would be cool, but I really am feeling cognac. So also, if I'm saying that wrong, feel free to correct me. I'm not a master at these things. It is brighter, a lot brighter than I thought it would be. So maybe the brown would be a little bit better of a taste. Okay, there we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. I think that brown is the perfect fit for this car. Then we throw this on, match the seats to the dash. That's looking good. That's definitely where we want to be. So I must have thrown on the lightweight package. That's probably what happened there. That's why I came with all the carbon. Honestly, I'm fine to throw on a few extra pounds to be able to get the comfort and the timelessness of the leather, and just to have it feel like a daily driver rather than just something that's so unbelievably aggressive. Front air intake with the 911 logo, I will say that's so sick. I like that a lot, but not really what we're going for on this car. I just did the paint matched air blades on that front bumper. I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Then I don't know if you can see that, but literally just right here in this little triangle, just a little triangle piece, $520 to just get that little triangle piece in carbon. So, dude, carbon fiber windshield wipers, maybe a little touch of carbon in there is okay because they're still a part of the center. dash, the center console in there, that's, I think we can check it out right over here. See, we still have a little bit of a carbon touch right here. So throwing on some carbon wipers, those $500 side carbon pieces right there, sure thing, whatever. And then putting on nice design fuel cap, that's sick. I really like that. I think the decals are really, really cool. But like I said, we're just keeping it really clean and classy on this. I think the under puddle light projectors, I think that's cool. I'm cool with that. And then the matrix design, LED headlights. There we go. That's what we're looking for. See, I like those headlights so much better, honestly. Those look way better. I would choose those any day. Now let's look at this rear. What can we do here? Oh man, that's crazy. So I don't know if you see what's going on there, but this red light bar in the back, you can get an option for it to be purely white or clear. That looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. That's cool. I think I'm gonna go with that. That feels really nice. So to my understanding, if you choose the option to pick it up in Germany, this $6,000 pickup option, I think they'll take you out for a drive for a couple of days, just going out like on some of the coolest roads to really get a feel for your car. So that's really sick. So we ended up with $324,000 for my daily driver, almost an additional 100 grand in options, but this thing looks freaking sick. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I definitely would daily drive this thing. Let's give it a look one last time. That British Racing green with that gold, it just feels so tasteful. And just to know that it's a GT3, but it looks like that, there's just something so beautiful about that. And of course that interior and stuff, it's just perfect. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this? Would you guys drive this as a daily? Or would you go for the GT3 RS, get really, really aggressive with it? Let me know. I think this thing's sick. I would totally rip it. If you guys go and build something like this out, send me a screenshot at BuyHunts on Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys are creating. So anyways, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.